Welcome to the Gen Cares powered by Chozen Live podcast, a podcast that brings the community to you. Each week, we feature a guest that will help us stay in the know. We are here every Monday at 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Be sure to like, comment, and share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, here's your host, Jen Cares.
Well, good evening and welcome to Jen Cares powered by Chosen Counselors. I am your host, Jen Cares, the founder of Chosen Counselors, a nonprofit organization that seeks to inspire, motivate, empower, and strengthen individuals and families. As always, I want to say thank you so much to everyone for tuning in, for liking, for commenting, and coming back again. I do truly appreciate each and every one of you. Special thanks to those that joined us last week as we reflected and evaluated. And friends, that process is continuous, okay? Because today I reflected and evaluated and had to cut some things, okay? This last week I had to reflect and evaluate and say, is this still going good for me? Is this no longer good for me? And guess what? That goes into our conversation for tonight. As we again, as shared last week, as we are coming to the end of an amazing year, tonight I want to share my journey of how I prepare for the new one. Okay, I plan and write the vision. So let's get into it. Again, there's no guess because this process is dealing with the man or woman in the mirror. And tonight's discussion is led by yours truly, Jen Cares. I do encourage you to comment below so that we can make this conversation interactive. I have some questions and I want to know what your answers are as we go through them, okay? And I'm going to share some stuff too. Why? Because I care. Jen cares. I just always like to see that. But as always, we always start with a quote of the day. And today's quote of the day is, if you want to make God laugh, tell him about your plans. Again, if you want to make God laugh, tell him about your plans. When thinking about tonight and talking about planning and writing a vision, that quote came straight to mind because there is no lie in that quote, friends. I have made plans only to see that I did not know what I thought I knew, okay? See, growing up, I remember I wanted to be a principal. Then I said, maybe I'll be a teacher. Then I said, I want to be a social worker, a therapist. And the last two things did come true, social worker and therapist by trade. But there was a process for me to get there to figure out what I would want to do with my life, okay? Friends, we are gifted to do so many different things. And in planning and writing a vision and things of that sort, that's things for us to consider. Like, what are our talents? What are we capable of doing? Because sometimes we make some plans and it's not really realistic. So today I thought of some talents that I have. Not all of them. I probably have some I'm unaware of now or will learn in the future. But I was like, I could sing. I deny it often. But I can carry a note. I can lead a song if needed. I've directed a choir before, taught a song, but I'm the backup to the backup to the backup. Okay. I can edit. I've edited books and helped many people publish their books. So that's a talent that I have. I could dance in my former days. I was on the praise dance ministry, but you put a little slide on, she going to the left, and all them different things. I can do public speaking. I can speak in public. I can encourage. I can write. I've written several papers in school, but if I don't have to, I'm not gonna write. Them papers used to be long, 15 pages, 20 pages. Thank you, Lord, for getting through those seasons. Okay. Um, I can organize some things. I was actually awarded most organized in middle school, and it is still true today. It can be overwhelming for some, but it's one of my talents, and I'm appreciative of it. Okay. I can cook, I can clean, I enjoy doing laundry, and we know about that laundry though. I can lead people. I can work with people. I can teach people. I can, right? Because we're talking about plans, making plans. Again, knowing what you are able to do, what you know how to do. But even in having all those talents and skills, friends, there are not enough hours in a day to plan to do all those tasks. You know, as shared, I was talking about that laundry and laughing because, you can wash and dry a load of clothes Let me break that down a little bit too, because some of us wash and dry, and some of us wash and then forget about the dry. Oh, wait, I got to load in the wash and things of that sort. But finally, once we finally get them dry and things of that sort, that folding and putting away could take 7 to 10 business days. But what I'm saying is that we could be gifted in so many different areas, but it doesn't mean that we're going to do all of those things at the same time. And that's the benefit of planning out some things and writing out some things so you know what it is you want to do, when the time frame and when you hope to do it. Again, you give it to God, He's going to laugh. But at least it gives us some direction. We're going to talk about that. I could plan to sing a song and then I lose my voice. Again, good intentions, but sometimes it doesn't always come through how we thought it would come through. So when I create this plan, and it's not the will of God, He laughs. Not necessarily in a bad way. I laugh like, that was cute, but let me show you what I had planned. And when thinking of that, this video came to mind. Let's check it out. That video brings me so much joy because that is just how God is sometimes. We make our plan and we think how it's going to work out, and we're grateful how she was for that small bear. He's like, no, let me take that. Comes back with a bigger bear. Let me take that. Comes back with an even bigger bear. And sometimes that's it. So when we align our goals and our plans and our thoughts and things of that sort with the will of God, He continues to blow our mind. Where we thought that small was good, we was making it. It's like, I have something bigger for you. I have something even bigger for you. And there is a price to pay for it. But it's such a rewarding thing to get the reward that He has for us as He sees that He has something bigger in mind for us. So the hope is that when we write our plans, that we take it to God. That's what I do. Okay. So have you experienced that now? Have you ever thought, I want this? And God was like, I see that. It's almost like playing is it poker? No, it's not poker. It is poker, I guess. I play spades and Uno for card games, solitaire, a little bit of those things. But in the game, you'll say, I see you 5, but I raised you 10. It was like, oh, too rich for my blood. But sometimes you got a good hand and you don't realize what it is that you really have in you until we write it out, until we plan it out, until we identify the talents that are within us. Mm. So, friends, as always, I have prepared some discussion points to guide tonight's topic. But to all of my chosen friends, again, be sure to comment below, okay? So let's get into it. The first part is talking about the benefits of having a plan. What are the benefits in having a plan? One, it gives you direction. You know where you're trying to go. That GPS helps us, the map helps us say, okay, so I'm here and I want to get to Philadelphia. I'm not sure how the process is going to be to get there, but I know I have to get there. So it may take a couple days, depending if you're walking, driving, catching a bus, depending what part of Philadelphia you're trying to go to, where you're coming from, but at least gives you a sense of direction. Having a plan gives you direction. It can also reduce stress. Sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, what I'm going to do, how it's going to work out, where we're going to go, and things of that sort. But if I have a plan, I don't have to necessarily be so stressed. Now, again, I don't know how I'm going to get there, how long it's going to take me to get there, but at least I still have a sense of direction to know that, hey, I'm heading in the right or semi right area, okay? Having a plan also helps us to be mindful, to let us know, all right, so this is the plan, this is what we want to stick to. It's like a eating plan. So you're like, if I have a plan of what I'm going to have for breakfast, a food plan, a meal prep, and things of that sort, dieting, not dieting. Sometimes you just want to make sure you have your meals together, okay? So it helps us be mindful of not spending all our money because these places can take our money and we don't have to necessarily let that happen when we have food in the house. So it helps us to be mindful, whatever our plan is. I'm gonna have breakfast, this for lunch, this for dinner, and I know that I have enough food in the refrigerator. So that's my plan. That's preparation. And sometimes we don't do that, or we go to make something. It was like, dang, I don't have none of this. I went to make tuna the other week and I didn't have no mayonnaise. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how, but sometimes, again, a good plan, if we don't have the pieces to go with it, out of luck. I made that tuna. I put some other stuff in it. Couldn't tell. Didn't need the mayo. See, you get creative when you don't have what you need. But again, having some type of plan. Another thing about having a plan or a benefit is that it helps you identify your goals. It really sets out what it is that you want to do. You kind of see it, right? And in that, we write it out. So by writing it out, it gives us clarity because we know for sure what it is we're trying to do. Sometimes you could be thinking something, but then when you start talking to somebody and telling them, they don't quite understand. But as you keep talking, it brings clarity to what it is that you're trying to do. Excuse me, it provides a blueprint. The blueprint of the building lets you know where this is going to go, where that is going to go. And writing it out and having a plan helps us, again, to at least have a foundation. All right. So tonight we're talking about having a foundation for what 2023 will bring. Writing things out also helps us to not forget. I can't tell you how many times great ideas have come to mind and I didn't write it down. I would be so sad because sometimes it'd be like really good, or I am one that comes up with some great analogies. I'm like, oh, that was good, Jen. 5 minutes passed, I started doing something else, and I may or may not remember all of that analogy. So being intentional about writing things down so that we do not forget whatever it is that we're trying to do. I remember doing a workshop about writing a book, and the lady said, you know, um, I was supposed to write a book. I had all these thoughts and ideas, and I didn't write it down, or I lost it, or whatever happened. And I told her to simply say a prayer of, God, I did not handle what you gave me very well. I'm sorry. If it's your will, please give me the words back so that I can be able to share it because what it was really good. And I believe that it would impact somebody else. So, friends, you can't trust your brain. You will forget. You could be in one room like, oh, I got to go to the kitchen. You get in the kitchen, what did I come in here for? It's just that simple. So we don't want to forget. So making sure that we are remembering. I wish I got the clip. It made me think of when a young lady was going to the store for her mom. Milk, eggs, butter, cheese. I think that was the 4 items. Nevertheless, when she got there, she remembered it all because she kept on repeating it. That's another thing too. If you don't write it, keep repeating it. Keep on repeating it. And then it becomes a norm for you. Everybody knows their ABCs. Why? Because we sang them a good gazillion times to know them. We know our 1, 2, 3s because we've done it a gazillion times. So again, friends, sometimes we will forget. And if we don't want to forget, let's write it down. Another benefit of writing it is that there's a sense of release. You ever had something that was on your heart, it was on your mind, and you kind of wrote it down, you kind of felt a little bit better? Mm, Such a good feeling. Let's talk about that too, because sometimes we go in and tell some people about themselves, and we shouldn't send that all the time. We shouldn't post that all the time. But if you created like a dummy email account, you can write out your thoughts and feelings of how you felt, send it to that dummy account. Nobody sees it, but you felt like you got it off your chest. Growing up as a young lady, I used to have a diary, and it was simply a book that I could journal in, tell all my thoughts, worries, fears, hopes, plans too, to help me release some things so I didn't have to hold it. And then I can hang it up on my wall as a reminder that this can happen, or this is an encouraging word to keep me on this journey called life. And then last thing, well, it's many other benefits, but another benefit I want to share is that writing things down makes it just a little bit more real. Saying things out loud makes it just a little more real. I was talking to a friend not too long ago, and I was saying, I had really told God if it, mm, I had really told God if and I could not get that thing out of my mouth. Why? Because if I said it out loud, it made it real. If I told somebody else, it makes it a little bit more real. Now, mind you, I told God already, God, if it's your will, yes. That's what I told God. But when I was trying to tell a friend, I was like, oh, I can't say it. Oh, my throat, what I'm trying to say is just not coming out. But when we say it, it becomes real. And if I told God yes, even though I'm struggling to say it out loud to that friend, Guess what? If the opportunity presents, if he asks me to do it, guess what? She's gonna do it because that's Jennifer, and she ain't got no be with the man upstairs. He's been doing too many great things for me. But again, writing it out makes it a little more real. And the amazing part about Facebook, they got some amazing parts. We're not gonna bash them, right? They have this thing where it's memories. So every so often, every year, around that time that you posted it, it comes back as a memory. Now, some of those memories are thank you, God, I made it through. What was I thinking, God? But some of those memories are like, God, I needed that reminder that this too shall pass. Because if I made it through that, I can make it through this. So writing things out and having a plan is so, so, so important to help us as we are embracing 2023. Ah, so tonight we're going to focus on some questions that can help us plan for 2023. And the hope is that you write them down somewhere. Shameless plug, Jen Carrots is publishing her first book. It will be here this week. It is chosen for this period planner and journal. So you can go and pre-order one today on our website at www.chosencounselors.com and select the merch link. Shameless plug. I'm not ashamed because what? I want y'all to do it. Yeah, see those memories, but those memories can get us also in trouble too, sis. Because depending on what was happening, where you were, but you get to see your growth. You get to see how you've handled things since then. You get to remember that moment, but also grow from that moment. Good or bad, ugly, all in between. Okay? So let's get into the questions. Dun, 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 dun. So, in picking questions to review and prepare for, well, to review your year and how things have gone, or to prepare for a new year, you do not have to go that far. My handy dandy friend Google.com, you can just type in questions to prepare for your new year, questions to reflect on your current year. And the questions today actually come from, here we go, come from instituteofu.org. So all of the questions that we're sharing today come from instituteofu.org. So you can type that in if you want to go to the site to see other questions that they have. But I'll be sure to share these questions as well with our rewind because these are some things we want to consider when preparing for 2023. So our first question is this: what is your intention for next year? Mm. So I purposely did not answer these questions prior to tonight because I said, we're going to answer these together. So depending on what time you tune in, be sure to drop your answer below, or at least drop it in one of your journals, do a note in your notebook, and things of that sort. So, what is your intention for the next year? Now I know I just said if you want to make God laugh, tell me your plans, but you still want to have a plan so you at least know what you're doing until He gives you direction of what it is He wants you to do. Yeah. So, what is your intention for next year? My intention for next year is really just to continue to be able to help somebody else. I went to a homegoing service for a dear friend's grandma, and one of her models and mantras that she lived by was, if I could help somebody, then my living would not be in vain. And as people came up to give accolades and share about her, they said that she loved them with nothing held back, no matter what they were going through. She loved them genuinely, like no judgment and things of that sort. And my intention for next year is to do the same, to be able to love somebody else. Because what I walked away from that service was to pay it forward. And I'm always just trying to encourage somebody, trying to give somebody the benefit of the doubt until they no longer need that benefit of the doubt because they really, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But I want to be able to make an impact in somebody's life like that, to let them know that there is purpose in them. There is more for them to do. They were created to do amazing things. So my intention for next year is really to inspire somebody, encourage somebody, motivate somebody, strengthen somebody, uplift somebody, and let them know that, hey, we can make it. What's your intention for next year? Good question. The second question. Uh-oh. All right, yes. What are you going to continue doing? Mm. I'm going to continue holding on to the horns of the altar. Okay, I need Jesus to get me through. A lot of different things are happening around, right? But what are some things you want to continue doing that you found beneficial this year that you want to do next year? Is it waking up a little extra early to really have some meditation time, some devotion time? Waking up a little early to get a little walk in? Waking up to really set the tone for your day? Is it planning your meals? Is it, making sure that you have lunch? Is it having a family dinner night? Is it having a family get together? What do you want to continue doing? Because there's some things that we did this year that were really great, that really uplifted us, that really encouraged us. So we want to know, what do you want to continue doing? Another question is, okay, so wait. What do I want to continue doing? I think I want to continue doing gin cares just a little while longer. I didn't get the sign to say stop doing it yet, so I guess we're gonna keep on going a little while longer. And again, continue being open to helping other people, giving people grace as God has given me grace, loving on people, because there's no greater feeling than to know that somebody loves and cares about you. All right. Our next question is, what do you want to change completely? Whew, it's a lot of things that could probably do that. What do I want to change completely? Um, so when creating plans and writing them down, we want to be realistic. Because I mean, I could say I want to change completely, having Mr. Bill come and visit me every month. He is the most faithfulest person I've ever met. But it's not really realistic. So when creating our plans and writing them down, we want to make sure that we're being realistic. So if we're not excited about Mr. Bill, maybe when we want to change completely is our mindset about Mr. Bill. We want to make sure that we're being intentional about our funds, to set things to the side so that we can handle the funds that we are blessed to have and assign them accordingly to the bills that we have. Because Mr. Bill, unfortunately, is not going anywhere. Okay, so something else you may want to change completely is just your mindset. Sometimes you had a little bit of stinking thinking, and it came at the most. It came at the worst time. So again, I want to do some positive thinking in those times. So like, this too shall pass, or really being intentional. I remember sharing. I'm not sure when I did, but I talked about going to an event and or a meeting, and they started. I knew they were going to start late. I knew they were going to start late, so I intentionally got there late, right? I got there like they still had not started. I said, Jesus wept. But what I wanted to change in that moment was my mindset. I knew it wasn't going to start on time. Even me being late, it wasn't going to start on time. So when I go, I pull out my phone to read a book. I pull out my phone to play a game. I do something to keep myself active and engaged so I don't get frustrated in that moment. I use that time constructively. So changing completely, sometimes we want to change our mindset of being frustrated in delays. Sometimes delays happen on purpose. There's sometimes that you miss an accident. There's sometimes that you were able to get something because you did stay and did not leave too soon. Sometimes we miss our blessing by moving too quick. So knowing that in delay, it is good. So changing our mindset so that those delays do not cause us frustration, because sometimes it's unneeded. Don't be frustrated in the delay. Everything happens for a reason. The next question says, how do you intend to be different at the end of next year? Mm, that's good. It's funny because they'll say, new year, new you. I'm like, no, not new in the sense that you turning new and you like turning your nose up at people because you feel yourself to be something different. But there should be something new about us. There should be something fresh about us. You're like, oh, you made it through that. You've learned, you've endured some battles. You got the scars to show that you were able to make it through. So that's the thing that could be different for you. That strength that you get, you've got a little stronger. I'm good for changing hair every month. Sometimes it's different. They be like, I didn't know that was you. That might be different. New style every month again. I don't know, but there's some things that we have that will be different. Our outlook on life, we may want to be different. Our occupation may be different. Where we're living may be different. Our car may be different. We may have a car and we're not on SEPTA. That may be different. Our dynamic within our family, we might intend for that to be different next year. Unfortunately, sometimes a lot of family reunions come at funerals or weddings. And at funerals and weddings, it brings out the best and worst of people at the same time. So what we want to be different could be we're intentional about family time. I remember growing up, we would have family dinner at the table, and I have a friend. I went to her house and I was setting up the food on the table and things of that sort. So we would sit around the table. She'd be like, "What you doing? That's bougie." Because it's something that she wasn't accustomed to. But being different might be that we do bring that back because it's so important to create these core memories in our families' lives of knowing that we care about them. We could sit together, we could put our phones down and focus on the person that's next to me. I don't have to FaceTime you right here. And life is so short. So what we may want to be different is that our family has come together. Our family is loving on one another. Our family is trying to be a part of each other's lives. Disclaimer, it's funny. I was talking to my brother. And we was talking about he was talking about branding me and gym carrots and things of that sort. He's the brand expert and things of that sort. And I was like, sometimes I feel bad because if I'm honest, I'm a family therapist with a jacked up family too. Meaning my family ain't got it all together either. I was a baby of the family. I felt like I was the only child. But what I may want different next year is to be intentional about engaging with those distant relatives. Now, with that comes some things too, because sometimes it may work out, sometimes they may be open to it, sometimes they may not. But being confident in who you are too, of knowing it will work or it won't work, you did try, and if you feel at ease with it, rock out with it. But I'm the queen of helping somebody else make sure that they can mend whatever broken fences that they can. Okay? The next question: what will you do to step out of your comfort zone? Woo! This is a big one. Why? Because comfort, oh, it makes us feel so good. You know, if you could just walk around in your PJs all day, you just be comfortable with your little blanket and you get comfortable, it's nice. But sometimes it is amazing to step out and see, oh, I could do that. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Oh, what? And you find out strength. You find strength in other areas. And we talked about, what our intention is for the new year. We talked about what was it? That release that you get, being mindful of goals. It was something else I said. I can't think of it right now. But stepping out of your comfort zone to do something that you thought was impossible. Again, I could share a talent or you could share a talent that you have, but then you find out, oh, wait, I could do a little bit more in that same talent. Saying, okay, so saying I said I could sing. I deny it, but yes, I do know that I can hold a note, lead a song if need be. Nevertheless, you could sing a song and then you find out, oh, I could go a little higher than I thought, or I could go a little lower than I thought, or I could do that off note and I didn't think I had the capability to do that. You that are managers and leaders at your job, sometimes leading is can be a task sometimes. However, when you are stepping out of your comfort zone, meaning that you're not on the necks of the people, but letting them to flourish and walk in the leadership that they have too, sometimes that's stepping out of your comfort zone. We don't always have to micromanage. I understand times when you do feel like you need to, because sometimes people go left and you're trying to get them to go right, because the shepherd, leads and guides them with the shepherd dog and things, keeping them in line. But sometimes we have to see how far they go without us. What have we instilled in them that helps them to go forth on what it is that we have equipped them to do, prepare them to do? So stepping out of your comfort zone, I get it. It is not fun all the time. I stepped out of my comfort zone on Sunday. I said, Jesus, what is this? What you want me to do now, God? But if I said yes, if I said I want to do this, I got to go and trust that it's going to work out. Is it possible for us to step out of that comfort zone and it goes complete? Absolutely. But hey, you live with no regrets knowing that you did try something new. The next question says, how will you learn from your future mistakes? Mm, Future mistakes, meaning mistakes are going to happen. One, we want to be kind to ourselves when they do happen because we're not perfect. We try. We just talked about stepping out the comfort zone. Sometimes it can go haywire, but at least we tried and we did it. So, what will we learn from our future mistakes? What will you learn from your future mistakes? I think I will learn to again plan things a little bit better sometimes, because sometimes we do things, we don't plan it out, we don't write it out, we just say, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and we've never done it before because we're stepping out our comfort zone. Sometimes we should just do a little bit of research. It does help us. So when I think of my past mistakes and things of that sort, I'm more mindful and intentional about how quick I am to get feelings and emotions involved in situations. Because sometimes you can be wrapped up, tangled up in something that you don't need to be wrapped up, tangled up in. I wish I had a cup to sip some tea, but God bless, you know what I mean. But how will I learn from my future mistakes? I would take each experience as a lesson and try to pass it forward to a sis. I tried that, it didn't work. It may work for you, but let me still share my experience. Because you may get further than what I did. Me and some friends went to the escape room the other night, and I was like, you gotta get to this room. She was like, no, she said we stay in this room. We did get to the next room. We almost got to the last room. So what was our mistakes? We just couldn't get it together. We was missing stuff and things of that sort. But when we go again, we'll try again and take the knowledge from the past so that we can get to that final room and we can win. We're going back again, please believe. But that's how we learn from our mistakes. We pay attention to what it is we have done and write down the lessons or the different tips to help guide us when we do it again. excuse me, it's similar to when people write a book, people write a book sharing their experience in different situations. We do not have to learn from personal experience all the time. Listen to somebody, sit at the feet of your grandmama and them, they have some wisdom. Actually sit at the feet of your kids and them, they got some wisdom too, because we've all been through some situations. One of the quotes I love that I share is, life is a learning experience. What are you teaching and what are you learning? We should always be learning, should always be teaching. And in our mistakes, we do that. Okay. All right. So the next question says, what do you want to accomplish? Now, when I just read that question, I was like, I want to be a billionaire so bad. You know, again, we talked about our plans being realistic. Sometimes we're not ready for some of these things that we want to do. However, the steps that we take to get there, I may say I want to write 5 books. Is it possible to write 5 books in the next year? Absolutely. Um, However, in writing 5 books, we want to make sure that we're allowing the readers time to process and get through one book at a time, right? Before putting another one out and they didn't really get all the nuggets that they needed from that first one. Or that the people really want to hear what it is you're writing about. Because I could write a book on A's, different words with the letter A. I could write a book on B's, different words with the letter B. Now, for a child, children books, this a winner because teachers will do this with their children and their students and things of that sort. However, if I'm writing a book on getting out of debt, great. Then I write a book on buying a house, great. Then I write a book on investments. Although all three of those are amazing, me getting out of debt might take me a couple of years. It doesn't mean it's going to happen like that. So I can't move to buying a house when I first didn't finish the first one. So again, what do we hope to accomplish? Just making sure that whatever it is realistic, getting around people that can encourage and uplift us to help us stay on task with whatever that goal is. The next question says, what will be your purpose next year? Mm, this is a good one. What will be your purpose, friends? Do you know that there is a purpose to you living? Do you know that you are purposeful and needed? Mm. What will be your purpose? What will be the reason for why you exist? What will be your motivation? What will be your plan, your design, your objective? When I was writing papers, talked about that. So, what purpose do you want to be in your life, in somebody else's life, in your children's life? What purpose do you want to hold in your friend's life? What purpose? What will be your purpose? What would be their purpose? We got to identify what their purpose is too, because if they're not helping us to do greater things, maybe they shouldn't be around. Period. Next question. Which existing relationships do you want to focus on? Can I just say that? I didn't even realize that was the next question. Come on, Jesus. What existing relationships do you want to focus on? As shared, when you're preparing for a new year, we talked about evaluating and reflecting on friendships that we do have on all scales: work, church, family, around the way, childhood friends, and things of that sort. You want to see which friendships you want to keep, what friendships need to stay. So now, what friendships do you want to focus on? Are there some friendships that you realize is not getting enough attention? Are there some people that you want to connect with just a little bit more? We talked about, what do you want to do different? So if you want to do something different within your family, what relationships within your family do you want to focus on? Um, Growing up, my dad was not a part of my life, right? So when I turned 18, I reached out, but I wasn't ready. It was a little overwhelming for me. However, when I finished school, actually not when I finished school, before I finished school, I would start visits because I was going at my pace and things of that sort. But I was intentional about building a relationship with him because I didn't want something to happen and I was not at ease and peace with where our relationship was, right? So I intentionally focused on that relationship. Again, at my pace, I would go maybe once a month, every other month, and things of that sort. But I wanted to focus on that relationship because, again, I did not want anything to happen to him and I not be ready. I just shared life is short. Friends, are there some relationships and friendships that you want to focus on to make sure it's right, it's good to go? There's some relationships we want to hold on to that we treasure. Are we letting the people know that are around us that we appreciate them? So we might want to focus on that. We want to hang out a little bit more. I know we can eat, but let's also do this activity and things of that sort. So we want to focus on some relationships to make sure that they stay strong so that when we get to 2024, well, when we get to December 2023 and we're preparing for 2024, that we still have those good, sturdy people around us. Really important to have good people around you. And as a kid, hmm, you felt it was times where you felt like you had to have a lot of people around you because that was the cool thing. Like everybody be around you, be friends. As a mature adult, you find if I got one person that's a ride or die, that's loyal, that's looking out for me as I'm looking out for them, then we doing all right. Because, yeah, next question. Whew, Jesus. Mm. What relationships do you want to focus on? What ones do you want to let go? Because friends, don't take no extra baggage, okay? We are taking flights with baggage, not not no trips to deserts and things of that sort and getting, it makes me think of the young lady who went on a trip with her friends and they didn't mean her any good. Sometimes we see signs. Sometimes we see red flags and we think that it's a circus and we want to be a part. Friends, we do not have to be a part of their circus. If it seems unsafe, if it seems like something is off, there is a reason. And there's some people that I've come across. I'm like, it's just something about them. I don't know, but I'm still cordial. I'm still nice. And then they show their true colors. Like, yep, yep, yep. Still gonna love you, but I'm gonna protect. We talked about last week boundaries. We want to make sure that we're going in this new year with boundaries, not letting people get over on us, walk over on us, talk any way to us. We want to be able to speak up for ourselves. Doesn't mean that we got to go blow for blow and things of that sort, but just know, you know what? Thank you so much for the time you were a part of my life. I wish you well. God bless. And you go your separate way. We don't always have to go nasty and things of that sort with people. Let them be. They was ready to go anyway. God bless. Next question. Um, See, boundaries, yes. And let's talk about boundaries just a little while longer as we go into this new year, friends, because there are some things that's been holding us back. And sometimes people, places, and things, we think that they mean us good, but they're still holding us back because that comfort. We're so comfortable being there. Well, I know that's how they're going to be. That's how they are. That's who they are. But sometimes we got to let those things go. We got to cut them off. And that's not always easy, but I promise you, it's worth it. And sometimes, most times, we are prepared or know that we should cut the person off, but we're trying to hold on to them just a little while longer, just a little while longer. But however, it then becomes a ticking bomb. We don't know when it's going to go off. So, friends, if it's something you need to get out of, please put your life jacket on and swim for the shore. Okay? All right. Next question. What career opportunities do you want to create for yourself? This is such a good one because we talked about how our jobs do the yearly evaluations or sometimes the biannually 6 months and things that sort evaluations. Is that job giving you what it is that you need? I know a lot of times we feel like the job is not paying us our worth. I can't tell you, as amazing as it was to go to school to be a social worker, when I first got out of school, I was like, what? How am I making this? But God is amazing because I survived and still surviving. When I was at that job, I was like, I don't even know how I made it. But I did. And sometimes we may fuss and complain, but I promise you, if you're doing something that in an area where you're supposed to be, I've never seen the righteous forsaken nor a seed begging bread. So, what create career opportunities do you want to create for yourself? Do you want to be a boss? I was talking to actually Ebony. We had her in October. She was working at Hannah Stone as a masseuse, but now she has her own business. She got the skills that she needed, and then she went out on her own. That's how it works. You go to these jobs and you learn the different things, how to run a business. You learn customer service. You get all the skills you need. So if you want your own business, you could do that. Or it could be that you want to start a nonprofit. It could be that you want to start a a lipstick line. I'm gonna say that because my friends was not letting me sell lipstick. I was like, this would be cool if I sell lipstick. They was like, no. One, when you had the time to do that and all that stuff. Again, realistic plans, friends, because if it's going to take you from the stuff that you're enjoying doing, or it's going to stress you out, maybe that's not something you need to write down. Maybe that's not a career opportunity you want to create for yourself. My sister was selling lashes. I was like, oh, I can sell lashes too. I don't even wear lashes enough to be a good advocate to sell those things. Okay, I need to come to the sisters that I know that do wear lashes, let them sell them because as the people see them, like, oh, they look so natural. I'm like, oh, I got some you want to buy. That's a good hustle. I can't sell lashes. That's not realistic. Again, we're talking about career opportunities we want to create for ourselves. Belinda, if you're still watching, Belinda does amazing with crochet. Now, she doesn't want to do it as a career, but she does it at leisure. And sometimes that's important to know too. Though you may want to have a side hustle and it's something that you enjoy doing, if it's going to take away your joy for doing it, don't make that a plan for yourself, friends. Because she loves crocheting now. She'll make me I'm gonna wear it soon, my hat and scarf set that she made. And guess what color is it? Purple and green. I just also realized this year that purple and green are probably my favorite colors now. I thought it was blue and silver, but it's no longer. Um, Focus, Jennifer. So she crochets, but again, there are some things that you enjoy doing that should just be a hobby. It should not be a career opportunity. See, exactly. It should just be a hobby because you can lose your joy for it, and we don't want that to happen. Okay, so what career opportunities do you want to create for yourself? Let me pause here again. I was about to move on because sometimes people want to go in business with others. If God Himself did not tap you on your shoulder to say, go ahead forth, don't do it, sunshines. You learn a lot about yourself and other people. Um, and sometimes you already knew that you wasn't supposed to do it. You just grateful to God when you do get out of situations. I've had conversations with many people who have done things like this, or you do partnerships with somebody and it doesn't go how you thought it would go, or maybe not how they thought it would go, because we all have different styles. We all do different things. So again, we talked about aligning with God. You know, we trying to make Him laugh, give Him our plans. But God, I would like to do this. Like, can you breathe on a little bit? Let me know if it is the way or that way. Things of that sort. So, career opportunities. The next question: how will next year matter? Mm. How will next year matter? You know, I had a friend, and we used to always say this would be the year. You know, I'm not gonna tell you how long ago we started that, but in our mindset, the year meant we was gonna have a boo thing and all these other things was gonna come to pass, things of that sort. We would get to the end of the year, some of those things that happened. We was like, "It's all right. This will be the year." The motivation and confidence we had of that next year being the year, and it's still not necessarily being a year of how we planned, but it still was an amazing year. That's how I have to go into years now, or that's how I choose to go into years now. This will be the year. Amazing things are going to happen. Doors are going to open. Opportunities are going to present themselves. Finances will come to me for whatever it is I'm trying to do. I will be connected with people who are like-minded and are focused on helping somebody else. Somebody that's not trying to get over on somebody else. Somebody that's really genuinely trying to do what it is that we're trying to do to help the nation, right? So how will next year matter? I'm gonna be intentional about who I'm connected with. I'm gonna be intentional about what it is that I'm hoping to do, and whatever it is that I do, I'm gonna do it 1,001%. Why? Because the Bible also tells me that whatever I'm doing, do it as unto the Lord. And I try to make sure I do that in everything I do. That God would be pleased. That if God showed up on my job in an angel, because angels come unaware, and I'm not doing my stuff, like He's gonna be pleased knowing that I'm doing what it is I'm supposed to be doing. If God told me to do something, then I'm doing what it is that He told me to do. Okay. So how will next year matter? Yes, sis, we got to speak it into existence. What it is I'm going to, what it is. What am I going to do that's going to encourage me to make sure that I'm helping somebody else? Again, this will be the year. Friends, take that. This will be the year. Why? Because you were chosen for this. When working on the journal, chosen for this, he sent me different options for like the image of it. But the period, and I was like, yeah, it's chosen for this period. Why? Because come what may, come what will, I am chosen, period. I'm going to make it through whatever it is. We are chosen. And it made me, it was also, well, chosen counselors was birthed from something else. Well, yeah, but the chosen piece of it made me also think of Esther. Like, for such a time as this, she was set apart to, fight for her family, to be there on behalf, doing something that was outside her comfort zone. But it was like, if you tell me to go, God, I'm gonna go. And that's how we make next year matter. We step out and do those things that have been in us, that we've been ignoring, that we know good and well we're supposed to be doing. If it is a business we're supposed to start, if it is a book we're supposed to write, if it is a group we're supposed to do to empower and strengthen other people, we want to make sure that that year matters by helping and doing whatever it is that we're supposed to be doing. The hope is that when we die empty. As shared, I went to that funeral this weekend, and Sunshine, as sad as it is, as bittersweet as it is, she died empty because she gave all that she had to all those that came and showed love. Her daughter, Miss Kelly, got up and said, "If my mom ever did any of these things for you, stand up and keep standing." She read a list of like 20 some things, and if I could tell you Over 50% of the people in there was standing up because she has fed us. She has loved us. She has, gotten some people out of jail. She has helped somebody find a building. She has helped somebody find a home. She has provided shelter and love. So again, how do we make next year matter? How do we make today matter? We pay it forward and we help somebody else, because at any given moment, we could be in a bad situation ourselves. But if I could help somebody, my living would not be in vain. Oh, this is funny how I'm flowing with these questions. I promise I don't remember them in order, but they are in order. These questions could be asked and answered in any order you want to go. Then this next one says, how will you help others? Whoo, you gonna give them a ride? You gonna give them a cup of water? You gonna give them something they need to eat? You can give them some words of wisdom. What is it that you can do to help others? Can you educate them on different things? We have a lot of young people that are just a little lost and confused, not always sure. Can we give them some words of encouragement? Like, Sunshine, I've been there too, but let me tell you how my experience was. Or let me just, give you some words of wisdom and things of that sort. They still have to make the decision, but the point that you stopped, took a pause to talk to them means the world to them. I did an anger management group with a young lady, and the first time she was like, all right, she all right, or whatever like that. The next time we met, she opened up a little bit more. The next time we met, she opened up a little bit more. I remained consistent. I showed her how the program was, but I was still true to me. I'm not gonna do hoop high and fair, all that fair and things that stuff. I'm gonna give it to you straight. Let's talk about it. Well, when you say that, like, how can we make that better? Do I have to always go off on somebody? Is it good to always go off on somebody? Then we talked about what her goals and dreams were. Because sometimes, though you have a curriculum, you got to go off script to help the person get to that person's heart of what is it that you want to do for yourself. And because you stay focused on what your goals are for you don't let those outsiders mess you up. People, places, and things can get us off kilter sometimes. Sometimes we're focused on the things that we want to do for our life, but somebody come along and say, oh, you can't do that. Or you're going to be just like this person. You're going to be just like that person. Nobody else from their way ain't never did that before, so you can't do that. But if we stay focused on what it is that we're trying to do and get around people that are going to encourage us and help us, you could be that person helping them to say, wait, what? That helped you? What? This is helpful? Oh, you helped me. I want to keep on going now. So you never know how it works, how that seesaw works of you helping somebody else, encourage somebody else, because then it goes again in paying it forward so that they can help somebody else. So how will you help others? Again, just some questions to consider. The next question says, what personal qualities do you want to strengthen? Mm. Excuse me, I'm not gonna lie. When I first read this, I was like, friends, don't say patience, because if you want to strengthen patience, baby, you are going to be tested. Okay, it is not always good. Patience is a virtue. Okay, but there are some other personal qualities you may want to strengthen. You may want to strengthen your time management. Mhm. You may want to strengthen some cooking skills, some cleaning skills, some simple things. It doesn't have to be big and grand. It may be that you want to strengthen your budgeting skills. Again, shameless plug. Y'all be sure to get this journal, because we talk about budgeting in there, some self care in there, motivational. I'll talk about it at the end, but throw that out there. But what are the qualities that you want to strengthen? Do you want to strengthen your love for others? Do you want to strengthen your grace for others? Because we're quick to be ready to cut people off, but sometimes God wants us to give them just a little bit more grace. Now, sometimes He is saying you can cut them off, and when He says you can cut them off, I ain't gonna hold you. I'll be like, "Oh God, I thank you. I passed that test, because it means I passed it. I can move on. It just means another one is coming." Pray my strength as I pray your strength. But what personal qualities do you want to strengthen? Another question is, what skills do you want to learn? Now, friends, there's a lot of things I want to learn, but I'm not gonna hold you. Um, and being realistic with our plans, again, we want to make sure that we have the time to do this new skill. If you want to learn how to crochet, but you don't have time to crochet, might not be one for you to do. I would love to learn how to play the piano. My mom played, and my great aunt played, my brother plays, and I was like, that is the one thing that I did not learn. And it's bittersweet. Sometimes I'm upset about it. But I did try. I mean, we had a Hammond in the living room, so it wasn't that I couldn't have learned. She even bought me my own little organ, and I little played on and things. But again, there's a lot of different talents we can have. There's a lot of different skills we can have, but it doesn't mean that we have the time to do them, or they're strong enough, or whatever it is. We can do it if need be. I can't play a piano if need be. I talk trash all the time trying to play. but she don't know how to play. But there are some skills that we do have that we may want to strengthen as well. Because again, personal qualities. But what skills do we want to learn? These are some things that we want to learn to make ourselves more marketable. I think I saw Crystal in here. She does like texts and things. So she's always going to be learning some new softwares and things of that sort to make sure that she's helping the people that she's serving. It could be that you are doing customer service. You may want to learn some other techniques of customer service. You may want to become bilingual and learn some Spanish. So in free time, you download the apps. They have some apps that can really help you. I'm told that they work amazing. Go ahead and download that app. But what other skills do you want to learn? Making time for it, because even that I'm saying like let it be realistic, there's some goals that are realistic but we're just not making the time for them. Point Case in point, I am trying to finish this program and I have to write 2 papers, and I have been procrastinating and I am a little disappointed in myself, but I'm being kind to myself because life really has been busy. But my goal is to make sure I do that before 2023 hits. So y'all hold me accountable. Y'all send me a message. Did you finish that paper, Jennifer? Because you're trying to finish that program before 2023 hits. However, if God forbid it does not happen before 2023 hits, I know that I need to do that by January before February comes. So also with our plans and our skills, putting some time frames on it. Because if we don't put a time frame, we'll say, oh yeah, I'm learning it. And then we're in 2025 and we still in one portion of the lesson. We want to make sure that whatever it is that we're doing, that we are staying on top of it to get that skill so that we can move on to the next skill. Okay. The next question: how will you take care of yourself? This is a good one. How will you take care of yourself? Are you gonna go to sleep on time? I am telling on myself. I don't always do that very well. I have do not disturb comes on my phone at 11:30 p.m. It goes off at 2 o'clock a.m. I'm not gonna tell y'all how many times I have seen it come on and seen it go off. I need more than the fingers that are on my hands. However, I'm gonna get better. Because it's so important for us to go ahead and go to sleep when we need to. We need that rest because you can't keep pouring out of an um empty vessel. You have to take care of yourself. Yes, Belinda said eat better and exercise. Okay? Personally, I do. I get some good rest, Crystal. That has never been a problem for you. That's a skill you have mastered, okay, sunshine? And it's funny, but it's not funny because we all need rest, right? We all need to be able to sleep. There's been times I had like an hour of sleep and then went 25 more hours and then finally got to sleep again. We have to rest. I can't tell you when I finally do go to sleep at a good time and I wake up before the alarm clock go off. Here lately, I've been waking up at 6. I was like, God, you want me to pray? Is that it? Okay. No? Okay. Okay, whatever it is, right? But when you wake up before that alarm clock goes off, you feel so refreshed, you feel so relaxed. And even if you do wake up because the Lord wants you to pray or read a scripture or something, I have gone back to sleep sometimes if I had the time, and I wake up and it felt like I didn't even miss no time. Meaning, if you do wake up and God puts on your heart to do something, or you're trying to do something and work towards your goals and your plans, I promise you win in the end. They say that early bird gets to learn. I'm the late bird that wants to make sure that it's worms for tomorrow, I guess. I don't know. But how will you take care of yourself? So important for us to consider and think about. The next question says, what places do you want to visit? This is a good one. Do you want to visit? I mean, we all visit the grocery store. We all visit different random places, stores and things like that. But let's go beyond that. What places do you want to visit? Do you have your passport? Do you want to travel somewhere? Again, everybody is not necessarily a traveler. I'm good either way because by the time you get on the plane, you get to where you're going, you're tired a little bit, but then you're trying to enjoy where you are, then you got to come back, then you got to go back to work, you need another vacation. Whatever it is that brings you joy. It could be that you want to go to a new restaurant. It could be that you want to go to a couple of um cities over, to just visit somewhere, see a show, a live show. What is it that you want to do? What places do you want to visit? You want to consider that, okay, friends? Because it's some amazing places right in your city. I'm a Philadelphia native, but I still see stuff that I've never seen before. Why? Because that's how amazing your city could be. Take a tour of your city. Yeah, city museums and things of that sort. Groupon helps you so that it doesn't have to be out range of your pockets and things of that sort. But what places do you want to visit? This one is a good one. What will you say no to? I'm so proud of myself because this year I've said some no to some things. So when it talks about what you want to take in the next year, that same thing. I want to be able to say no to some things because we can't do everything. And sometimes some things aren't good for us, means it's no good. And we don't find out until it's too late. So what will you say no to? Please say no to those things that are not bringing you joy, that are not bringing you peace, that are not in alignment with what it is you're trying to do with your life. The next question says, how will you improve your environment? This is a good one. How will you improve your environment? Because a lot of times we go into some environments that I could have passed on this event, or I didn't need to really be in that atmosphere and things of that sort. So it's really us being conscious of where it is that we are, who we are around, and things of that sort. So many different things can um, cause us to feel like it's a good situation, but then we get there, we're like, and it's funny because it's the meme that says, "You coming over?" And the response is, "Who all gonna be there?" It matters who's going to be there because if somebody that doesn't mean you any harm, I don't got time for drama, friends. Let me just stay home. This peace is my sanctuary. I'm good here. Okay. So again, how will you improve your environment? Label Confidence said, yes, creating boundaries. Friends, it is so important. It is so important to create boundaries. We think that it's not, but we find out how important it is. Even on the highway, on the road, when you're driving on certain parts of the highway, if you rear off to your right, you hear the blah, 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 blah. And it was funny because growing up, the girl was like, that means we're almost home. That does not mean that. You're almost home to Jesus if you keep on that blah, 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 because you might go off a cliff. That home, but not home, okay? But those boundaries are there to help make sure that we stay in our lane, okay? We want to make sure we stay in our lane and creating those boundaries. Crystal said, no is in the dictionary. I like saying no. Again, it took me a while to get there because you be wanting to help the people, but sometimes you have to say no because you can only do but so much that's on your plate. Antoinette said it matters who's going to be there. It matters who's going to be there. Because if you know, I don't know, if I don't like this person and they don't like me or they doing stuff, why are you going to bring me there? You want me to come out of my character. You want me to act a fool. And I'm trying to be right, trying to be good. You know, somebody did, it was me was like, I'm happy. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm happy. Don't put me in a situation that's gonna be bad for me. And we talked about that too with our friends, of knowing who our friends are and they knowing who we are. So knowing that if I know this is not a situation that you like, I'm not gonna push you in that situation because I care for you. And I'm trusting you're not gonna put me in that situation either. So who's how will you improve your environment? One, being conscious to know who's there. Okay? All right. Next question. Who will you ask for help and support from? Friends, this is important in our plans. Why? Because we can't do everything. We don't know everything. Sometimes I connect with other people too. As therapists, I connect with other therapists of different strategies and things to use when helping clients and things of that sort. For social work, we connect of different resources. I don't know everything. Okay, so having a resource guide, having a back in the day was Yellow Pages. Today we have Google. You can search and research some supports that can help you to do whatever it is that you're trying to do. So be open, be humble to ask for help, to ask for support because you can't do it all alone. I'd be crazy trying to carry this desk by myself with all of these items on there. However, I say, hey, sis, can you help me? We can pick it up. You grab this and I grab this and it's easier. I'm not going to hurt my back. I'm not going to hurt nothing. I ain't going to break nothing. Everything will still be intact by asking somebody for help. So, friends, if you can, it's no trouble, no shame in asking for help. Oh, pause. Stay going in. Let me pause for the calls because sometimes we ask people help and they were like, "Oh yeah, because I helped her." Don't ask those people for help. Don't ask those people help because it's not about being seen. Can you just help me and nobody know that you helped me? Can you just slide me a $20 bill and nobody know that you slid me that $20 bill because I needed it and you saw the situation and God told you to do it? You gotta tell like, "Oh yeah, because I gave Sister Jen $20 because is it their business?" Don't do that to people. So again, may God lead you to the people that can help you, that can support you in what it is that you're doing and not put your business out on Front Street. Okay. God bless. Last question. Who do you want to become next year? Friends, this is such a good one. Who do you want to become? Okay. The world is your oyster. Whatever it is that you want to do, it is possible for you to do it. Again, just in the planning and writing out the vision, I just always still encourage that it's realistic things that we're putting down. If it's a task or a strength or a skill that you have not quite mastered yet, please, please, please take the time to work on that, strengthen yourself in that, because I'd hate for you to start a business and you can't manage the finances of it. It's going to go under. I hate for you to start a bakery and bake some items and you don't know how much eggs or how much milk or how much butter or how to convert those things. Okay. So again, whatever it is that you want to become, make sure that you're gradually or you're progressing towards that. Okay. Because friends, it's a lot of things you could be out here. Again, whatever it is. And it's possible that you could be one thing this year and next year you do something different. Things change. One year I was teaching and teaching English as a second language, teaching job readiness classes, and helping teach the GED classes where the students were trying to attain their GED. Another year I was doing a little bit more direct care with the social work piece. Another year I was doing a little bit more. So our job titles or our different areas of growth and different things that we're doing may change from year to year. But who do you want to become next year? I like this, Crystal. She said, I want to become a better me. I want to be a better me too. I want to say, you know what, Jen, you did that because you could have told them off. You could have told them some words from the other dictionary, but you took that in, you took that out, you let it go. Why? Because we also can't let people get us off our grind. Friends, you are doing amazing jobs. You are doing great things. Don't let somebody discourage you. If you need some encouragement, send me a message. I got you covered. I send about 40 people a message sometimes every day, something like that. But I just want to encourage somebody else. I want to be that person that can encourage somebody else, that they can know that, hey, I just needed somebody to talk to. I just needed a prayer. I just needed somebody to listen. I want to be able to help somebody else. That is my goal in life. So who I want to become next year? I'm with you, Crystal. A better me, a better me. Mm. Friends, again, these questions were retrieved from instituteofyou.org. If you want some questions to explore yourself and what it is that you want to do in the years to come, well, year at a time, 1 month at a time, 1 day at a time, okay? But if there's some questions that you want to explore, be sure to visit Institute of You or simply Google questions for preparing for a new year, questions for reflecting on the current year. Friends, it helps out. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. But then there's also sometimes that thoughts can come to mind for you. Jot down your notes from those thoughts as well. Friends, we have 20 days until 2023 hits. We do not have to wait until then to plan or to write the vision. Okay? We can do it. I believe in each and every one of you. I thank you all so much for tuning in today. Don't forget our quote of the day. If you want to make God laugh, tell him about your plans. If you want to make God laugh, tell him about your plans. Friends, when I was thinking of this too, I was like, I could create some plans. And sometimes I create plans. Let me get it together. Sometimes I could create plans, right? And then I don't know if they God's will or not. And I'll just write them out because writing gives me some direction, encourages me, and things of that sort. But then I rip them up. Mm-hmm. Or I'll make sure I leave some space because God, whatever it is that you want to happen, you write that on my paper too so they can work out how you wanted to work out for me. Because I don't see everything. I don't hear everything. It's people that's having conversations in rooms I don't know, good and bad. But God, whatever it is that you're trying to do, whoever you're trying to mold me to be, whoever it is you want me to help, send them along my way. And God, help me to have those words to be able to share with them. I was talking to a young lady. She was frustrated about taking a test for school. And she's like, this is my second time. I'm just so frustrated, overwhelmed. I said, sis, when I went to take my test for comps to graduate from my master's program, I took that test 3 times. It was on the third time that I passed. The first time I missed it by 5 points. 5 points. 5. The second time I missed it by 16 points. I said, well, Lord, that's my birthday. What you trying to say, 516? But now I'm really upset. I'm like, I didn't study my butt off. Like, what's going on? I get a little test anxiety. That's just me. But then I went to take it the last time. And the crazy part is I saw people in there cheating. I saw them. But I said, I studied. I prepared myself. I am going to get this together. Friends, You go ahead and keep on trusting. I was able to encourage her, and she said, all right, I'm gonna try it again. I said, you try it again, it will work out when it is time. And sometimes we're rushing things and it's not the time. So being okay with the time of when it will come to pass. As shared, we have a book coming out. It is called Chosen for This Period. It is a planner and journal. It has monthly motivations, it has inspirational quotes, it has a budget tracker, a self-care awareness piece, a piece for journaling, and some more. Why? Because we want to remind and encourage you that you were chosen for this. Period. Whatever it is that you're doing, be encouraged because you're doing an amazing job. You'd be surprised how many people you are inspiring every day by simply being you. So head over to our website at www.chosencounselors.com to check that out. It is a good book. I put my heart into that. I hope y'all enjoy it. Um, and I was going back and forth with some friends, but I'm going to let all proceeds go to Chosen Counselors. Why? Because if I can't keep doing this, that would bring me sadness. I really enjoy being able to help somebody else. We do our back to school fit. No, we do our snack attacks twice a year. This year we were able to help. I think the first semester was 9 students. This past semester, this fall semester was 12 students. I want to continue to be a blessing to a college student by sending them a care package. And to do that, you need funds. So if I let the money from the books go, anything extra, I continue to donate to make sure that we're able to meet our goals and visions for Chosen Counselors. Another thing, we're trying to bring a day of empowerment back again because it was so well received. We want to encourage and motivate and empower people. And if I could do it for free, I'm going to try to do it for free. Why? Because I believe in you just that much. We did the holiday give back. This year, we donated toys and gifts to a toy drive, and then we're donating some coats to some families that are in need. And we're actually able to spread out a little bit more than what we did with our holiday give back of sponsoring that one or two families. So I'm just truly, truly grateful to be able to be a blessing to others. And then by hosting Jen Cares, each week we try to bring the information to you, sharing the resources that are right in your backyard to really encourage you, to let you know that you are not alone. You can make it. I went into social work because I felt like there was a need to help people, connecting with services. Became a therapist because I found that people needed somebody to talk to. And Jen Cares, Chosen Counselors, helps us to mesh those two so that you're not alone. You could be connected with a resource, you could talk to somebody, and we normalize the importance of addressing our mental health. Why? Because a lot of things are happening. Sometimes it is traumatic and we don't realize it's traumatic, but it's like, oh, that's just a normal thing to happen. We don't have to be stressed or bothered or boggled down by those things. Let's release it and talk to somebody, okay? So I wish you all an amazing holiday and new year. I will see you in January in preparation for our January and February and 2023 Gen Care segments. If you want to suggest a guest or a topic of discussion, please email us at info@chosencounselors.com. We should appreciate it. We're always looking to find somebody new, meet somebody new, and to share the amazing things that they are doing. So, friends, I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in, for hanging in there with me. I love you all for real. Be sure to plan and write what your vision is for 2023, but leave room because anything is possible. Let God blow your mind when you align your will with His will. I love you all for real. Good night.
Friends, we thank you for joining Jen Cares this week. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Unable to watch us live? Be sure to find us on your favorite podcast platform. You can also visit our website, chosencounselors.com. That's chosen with a Z, so that you can stay in the know and most of all, never miss a show. If you found value in this episode, we'd appreciate you sharing it with a friend. Most of all, be sure to tune in for our next episode next Monday at 8 p.m. right here as we specialize in bringing the community to you.